Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a bit of a personal kind of episode for us where I want to talk about something that's dear to me. I know usually we like to go into, facts and specifics about training, but today I had something come up that has been on my mind and it brought me to this topic about why I am a drug-free powerlifter, why I've chosen to be drug-free in my pursuit of my sport and strength moving forward. So, I do want to start with just kind of what got me thinking about this. Now, of course, in the gym, you hear people talking all the time about, you know, what they may or may not be putting into their body. And I'm someone who sits in that camp of people can do whatever they want to do as far as anabolics. I will not hold it against them as long as they're not competing against me in a drug tested, drug free federation for powerlifting. Totally cool with it. But the other day, I heard some conversation between students who were talking about someone at a local college who's 19 and playing football at Division 2, and they were talking about, oh yeah, he hopped on some steroids, and they were basically saying, oh, he got really strong. He can bench 315 pounds now, and it really just put things in perspective because these kids were so excited about his progress in the gym and seeing that, and it worries me because I think especially young students, high school age kids, they can be influenced by what they see. And like everyone, we want that instant gratification. So it really disturbed me because for someone to be putting that in their body at 19, 20 years old, it's just not smart. I'll be blunt about it, right? And would I really go through all that to bench 315 pounds? I don't know. I'd be pretty depressed if that were the case. But let's bring it back to me now. So this relates pretty heavily to my probably number one reason why I am not interested and never have been interested in any sort of anabolic use for powerlifting. And that's my students, right? I spend my days teaching, talking, conversing with young people, trying my best to teach earth science and physics, and they see what I do, right? They see the competitions, they see the flags in the background, and they ask me about it. And I get plenty of students who love to go to the gym and they want to set goals for themselves. Well, for me, I want to set an achievable goal, right? If I were to have any sort of drug use in my history, um, with anabolics or anything else of the sort, that puts a barrier for them, right? Where they would have to look at me and understand they can't get there. And my entire goal as a teacher in general is set the standard that students can strive for and eventually get to, right? I can say to them, work for 10 plus years and lift weights and be consistent, watch your diet, and you can get where I am too, right? There's nothing stopping them, and they don't have to make these major decisions for their health, possibly. Um, so this is my number one, and it is my number one by far, right? So this is kind of my anchor. Now I have two other side reasons that I just, if it weren't for number one, these would keep me from going down that path as well. And my number two is competition, right? I'm an advocate for one, a fair playing field. So if you compete in a non-drug tested federation, don't complain about people being on drugs. But if you're competing drug tested, then no one else that you're competing against should be on drugs. I know some people get around tests sometimes, those are the claims. Um, I might be a little naive in thinking that happens less than some people tend to think, but I'm an advocate of a fair playing field, and for my goals in powerlifting, getting to go to all of these different countries and compete, the IPF is the best route for that, from what I've seen, and that's drug tested, right? So that lines up with my goals for competition, and fairness is huge for me. And then my third reason is overall health. Now, I know that there's plenty of information in today's day and age, right, where people can research, and I know there's plenty of people at the gym and locally who may have enough knowledge with some of these things that they can monitor their health. They spend time at the doctors, look at the top level bodybuilders, which are untested, strongmen, untested as well, right? They can deal with this. But for me personally, I have not dedicated, nor do I really have the interest in dedicating a whole chunk of my life to this new research. I also really don't like going to the doctor, right? So that's kind of a deterrent as well. I would not want to get blood work, etc., all the time. And my goal with lifting is to have a long training career and life and enjoy the gym because that's why I do it. I like going into the gym and just lifting. If you look at a lot of the untested lifters, they have major quick progress, and then you're much more prone to injuries as well because you're pushing those heavier loads. The muscles are adapting faster than the tendons, and to be quite honest, that's extremely scary to me, right? So call me a wimp if you want, but that's kind of where I sit. So, kind of taking a step back, these are my three main reasons why I have chosen to be a drug-free powerlifter, right? And there is no slighting against anyone who has not chosen that route. But whenever I hear stories about people who surely haven't spent much more than a year training seriously in the gym and they're hopping on anabolics for college football, right? That's not going to pay the bills, let's be honest, or, just to look good in the gym, especially young people, it disturbs me a little bit. So I wanted to share my thought process of why I have chosen that route. Okay, so I'm curious to hear your all's thoughts down below if you'd like to comment. Um, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Happy lifting.